It's early morning, Friday, September 19th. Actually, it's not even that early. It's a little bit after 6. Normally I'm up way earlier than this. I just didn't sleep very good last night, but yeah, getting everything packed up. Got my bag, bow, pack, cooler, other bag. Won't be taking that. That's my son's car seat. I'm trying to talk kind of quiet because the kids are still asleep, but I'm going to visit with them and hang out with them for a little bit before we leave, but Jonathan's going to be on his way in here before too long, and we're going to pack up his truck. And we are headed out west on the first hunt of the year, an archery mule deer hunt. And I'm pumped, and I know he is too. So, God, it's hard to believe. Time just flies, but yeah, I would say by tomorrow evening, we'll be glassing up some muleys, hopefully spotting up a couple decent bucks. So yeah, archery mule deer hunt, first hunt of the year. Here we go. Morning of day one. We'll call this day one because yesterday afternoon was more or less pretty much just scouting, yesterday afternoon and evening. And really we had an incredible afternoon, all things considered. We've got some automotive issues that we're going to have to get addressed pretty quickly, but other than that, we saw hundreds of antelope, 100 plus whitetails, a herd of 40 plus elk with a really big herd bull, like 6 satellite bulls, 30, 40 turkeys, but we weren't really seeing the muleys. And we decided to get off this glassing knob that we were on to the west of us here, probably about a mile, and head back. And when we did, we ran into a pretty good group of muleys coming off these hills back in this public. And so this morning, our plan was to hike back in here, make a big loop, get on one of these glassing knobs, and try to watch these muleys come back in here to bed up in these hills on the public. and we have just done that. How many did you say there was, Jonathan? 11? 11 of them. Right now, we just watched 11 different bucks. I can see them right now with the naked eye. Can you see them? And at first, they were still on private when they crossed up into the hills, but the way this public goes, it kind of 90s as it gets back here behind us. So they're well onto public right now, and we're just trying to watch them for a few minutes here before we make a move or do anything. We just want to kind of put them to bed, see exactly how far they're going to go back here, how deep they're going to go in this public. But perfect wind, perfect conditions and everything this morning. Everything's worked out exactly as we had planned so far. Just trying to keep an eye on these bucks. There's a couple different nice ones in the group that we would definitely consider taking a shot at if we can get on them. So that's the update for right now. We're just gonna keep tabs on these deer and hopefully
take a look at all the X and see what's
okay. Hopefully, I think we've got a lot of public to work with back there.
Yeah.
So they're on public. I mean, for a while, and they're definitely going to be bedded on public. So that's the update so far. It's been a pretty good morning. Everything's worked out the way we had planned. So
11 bucks.
Yeah, good start. We're going to keep tabs on these deer, and
they're not giants, but
no,
a handful of them are good enough for us.
Absolutely. Going to try and keep tabs on them and hopefully put them to bed and get an idea at least of where they're going to. I mean, I'm sure these deer are coming back down here every single evening to this field. So, so if we can try to get them pinned down in an area where we think that they're bedding or we know that they're bedding, make a move on them eventually. We'll see. Afternoon of day one, we just got set up. We hiked back in here a good ways onto this public where we saw these deer this morning filter back into these hills and go to bed. We had a game plan coming in. There's these 3 mounds back here that these deer filtered right by whenever they headed back into bed this morning. And so our plan has been to come up here and find a little nook or cranny by one of these to set up. And we've got a great wind as far as, as long as they do what they did this morning. What is it? Is it straight west, or is it a little bit of a north? Or just a straight west, basically. So this morning where they went through, Jonathan watched them come through to the west of right where we're sitting. So with the west wind, theoretically, if they do the exact same thing that they did this morning, and they come right through here, we've got a perfect wind, and we should get a close shot. If everything went according to plan, and they did basically exactly what they did this morning. If nothing else, hopefully we can learn something, and I don't know. We'll see if we can get it to work out on day one. afternoon of day 2. We had to burn the hut this morning to try to get the truck worked on and try and get it fixed. And we got a couple things figured out, but the weather has totally done a 180. Yesterday it was in the 80s, and today it just barely, if even, touched 60. And it's been rainy and drizzly all day. We just got out here around, I don't know, probably 3 something. And we hiked in. And some of these deer were already out in the ag feeding. That's just how big of a weather change we've had. It's a lot cooler today, obviously. You can probably tell by the way we're dressed. And the rain is just now letting up. It rained. There's another buck coming.
Same spot. See it?
Yes.
Doe. She's looking back, though.
Oh, dude, they're probably all down in those cuts in that canyon. So anyway, we got hiked in here, and we saw a couple of deer already out in the ag fields. And it wasn't even 3 o'clock yet, so we're like, you know, they're going to be up early, they're going to be moving early. And actually, hiking in through one of these canyons, we spooked a big group of does. We're not sure if they were bedded in there, or if they were already moving through there, headed down towards the ag. There's another one. Right now, we are watching deer just file out of this canyon. Anyway, we've got a northeast wind, northeast. So we came back to these mounds that we set up by last night, but we're on the back side of one of these big ones right now. And we literally just got kind of settled in a few minutes ago. A third one. And we were just kind of standing here trying to decide what we really wanted to do.
It's that same group.
Yeah.
Does and fawns that we kicked up.
There's another one.
Yep. 4 of them.
Man, they're all coming out of that same spot, you know.
Yeah.
Same spot that buck did. So we're standing here talking about what we want to do, and if we want to set up here and be able to move a little bit, or if we want to set up in the same exact spot we did last night.
There's another one. There's 5.
Which is just on the other side of this berm. And the rain kind of just started to shut off. And we looked up, and there's a deer that just popped up out of this canyon, headed towards basically the draw that we just came up to get over here. And it was one of the bucks. Jonathan, is that buck over there?
Yep, there he is.
Just going over the hill.
He's on the other side of that fence now. That's number 6.
That's 6 of them now.
7 with that buck.
So far, all the deer are coming out of that canyon over there to the east of us, which is not where they came out last night, but it's kind of close. We kind of figured that they might be bedded up a little bit closer to the food tonight, just because of the weather, but...
That's about straight north from where we were at yesterday morning.
Yes. Yeah, it is. So, we're not really sure what we're going to do yet, or whether we're going to just stay put and be able to make a move, or possibly make a run for it if one of the bucks that we would take a shot at pops up out of that canyon. They're definitely up and moving already, so we're going to have to figure something out pretty quick. You see him? Is there just 3? the other 3 points with him, isn't he? I think he's a 4x3.
It's the morning of day 3, and we just got set up where we're actually going to stay put for a little bit. We got in just a hair late this morning, but it was cloudy and rainy. It was pretty overcast, so we figured we'd be alright, judging from how late some of the deer were moving back into bed on the first morning. And we were working up to our glassing knob, and there were several does that were already working back into these hills from the ag, and something bumped them. We're not sure what. It wasn't us, but while we were standing up on that glassing knob, it was basically the same exact spot that we were the other morning. Several of the bucks that we've been keeping tabs on started to move up back into the hills as well. We glassed them up, and the big shooter, the biggest of the bunch, was with that group. I mean, there's several shooter bucks with this group, deer that we would definitely, take a shot at if given the chance, but he is no doubt the biggest. Last night, we got up on this same glassing knob before it got dark and actually spotted a buck that we hadn't seen yet. I was able to get some footage of him through the glass up and realized it was a really, really nice deer. Definitely a shooter. Definitely the biggest buck that we've seen so far. And he worked about 118 yards away from us. Went down this little hillside and jumped the fence and headed towards the ag. We get up here this morning, as I mentioned. Saw those does moving back in the hills. And then we spotted a couple of those same bucks that we've been seeing. The 3-point, that short-tined 4-point. And then that big buck was with them all. And they were already working back up in here. They were earlier than we expected. And so we were trying to make a play on them. Back up, go down a couple of different cuts, and see if we could head them off, but we weren't going to beat them to where they were going. We weren't going to even be close, so we watched them go into this big canyon up here. It's got a bunch of different cuts off of it. Jonathan glassed up a couple of different bucks from that same group that were still down in the ag fields. So right now, we're hunkered down in some of this sage right here, watching this flat by these mounds that we sat by the other day. Same spot that we've seen them 2 different mornings now. The other morning and this morning. Move back through here into this big canyon back here. So we're basically just waiting to see if these other bucks that Jonathan glassed up in these ag fields will move back through here to go into that same canyon that those bucks did. And either one or two things. I mean, they'll either be in range for one of us to get shot, or we'll be slightly out of range and we'll just have to sit here and watch them. But we'll at least learn something and see exactly where they're going to go.